Welcome everyone to BigGunner81 Live. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of recap on the Three Gun Nation Southern Regional that was down in Alabama this past weekend. And we got a guest with us tonight that was down there shooting with us, Josh Tarrant. I want to first thank our sponsors, Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks at AFGW.com and BAT Arms, Eggleston Munitions, the Range at 355, and it's Tier 1 Training Corporation. So welcome everybody who's watching out there. And Josh, thanks for joining us tonight. So tell us a little bit about, because we just met, tell us a little bit about your background on shooting and stuff.
Sure. So yeah, I grew up pretty much shooting, hunting my whole life. Kind of brought up that way. My family's a big hunting family, so I've always been around guns, always been comfortable with them. Hadn't really done much competition, especially action shooting competition, until about a year and a half ago. Prior to that, I tried my hand a little bit of bullseye stuff, done some like trap and skeet type shooting, did a little bit of long distance rifle. And then in 2014, I shot my first IDPA match. My buddy and I kind of got into it together. Shot one IDPA match, thought it was cool. Shot a USPSA match, thought that was even cooler. And thought, well, if one gun's fun, then three's got to be even better. We did our first three gun match in I think about May 2014, and we were absolutely hooked. Kind of went all in. Shot our first major down at FNH in 2014, and maybe 5 or 6 local stuff, and the Michigan State Championships in 2014. So that was kind of my first kind of step into it, and then cranked it up big time for 2015. 2015, I shot 7 major matches, probably a dozen local and kind of regional type stuff, and the Michigan State Championship match.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard that FNH match is pretty cool too.
That's a great match. I've shot it twice now. It's a great facility down at Peacemaker.
Cool. Yeah, I heard the registration, I think, just opened like this past weekend, right?
It did. So they open up for the people that have previously shot it. They get kind of an early entry to it, and then everyone else, they fill up the rest of the slots with new shooters. That's
pretty cool. Yeah, I know our guys I was shooting with this weekend were talking a lot about it. There was a pretty cool match, and they wanted to get in on it and everything, and so that's neat. So I'm going to play in the background. We can talk about it while we're doing this. Is like I've got some footage from this weekend from Alabama here. We're just down there shooting the Southern Regional for Three Gun Nation, and it's gonna take me a second to just pull it up here.
Sure.
But I put these back in order, not by the order which I shot them.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to tell because the sun's going down in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
So I put it in order by the stage number, as far as I remember, anyway.
Yep.
So this is like stage 1.
Yep.
And you'll see I have a lot of problems with my shotgun mags and stuff. And this one I hit the par time on and whatnot. No surprise. But I'll go ahead and I'll share this. I don't know if everybody can see it. They should be able to now. What was your experience on the jungle run here?
Jungle run went pretty well for me. I tend to make errors with the shotgun because I want to try and run the gun a little faster than I need to. It's people get in trouble with the shotgun. You think you're spraying such a large pattern you don't have to aim, but it's the gun that penalizes you the most for the misses because you've got such small capacity, especially if you're shooting tac ops or factories. So okay, I think I finished 25th overall in the match in this stage. A pretty good time. I ran shotgun, did a load 12 on the way to the dump barrel here, and then I finished off with pistol at the end. So it went okay for me. Could have gone a little better. Could have been a little smoother.
The time of day I was shooting at, you see the sun hitting us that one direction, how bright it was?
I do. It made those targets really tough.
Oh, my God. I had put my iron sights up, my backup sights up, just to try to be able to see. Yeah. And I still couldn't see. So, like, all those targets on that side, I pretty much just missed. I was almost blindly shooting at them, like, in a general direction.
Yeah.
You couldn't really nail it dead on with them.
That's the crux of these big matches sometimes is the weather from day to day or morning to afternoon rotation, including the sun, can really change the dynamic of the match. And it can it creates a sense of, sometimes you feel like it's just so unfair, but it's just, it kind of happens to everyone at some point. You just kind of deal with it.
Yeah, and this, you can see I was having issues with my mags and the sunlight and everything else, but a lot of it's also my skill level. I'm still not that high up on my skills, but I did try to do the pistol at the end. I got to that point, that first target. I think here I was playing on my mag or something. I don't remember, but I just let it play. But I got to that first blue plate. I was able to get that one fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, I was just whipping off rounds at it, couldn't hit it, and then I timed out.
Yeah. Those are about a 65-yard shot on a 12 or 10-inch steel. Not a trivial shot, especially at the end of the stage.
That was like impressive to me that I was able to hit that first one. Maybe it was just luck. I don't know, but just like, well, we'll see in other stages too when we get to them. This video is about 22 minutes long, so I'll let it play and we can just talk as we go.
Sure.
So what other stuff did you find at this match that was kind of like challenging or of interest or something to you?
I don't think any one thing in the match was particularly challenging. Again, I think I've shot just enough majors to where they didn't throw anything at us that was like, oh my God, this is the first time I've ever encountered this. So that was good. That's always a good thing. Right. But just as far as an interest goes, I mean, I thought the match itself was really well put on. I thought the stages were fantastic. I enjoyed the stage out of the Connex. I didn't do great on that one. I think that was stage 5?
I think it was 5.
Yeah, out of the Connex.
The Connex box one. So I think this is probably stage 2 here, I think.
Yeah, this is where I started my match. And unfortunately, my match started on like the worst, almost, I won't say the worst possible, probably the second or third worst possible tone, because I didn't get DQ'd and I didn't blow my gun up, but my rifle went down right where you are right now, and I left 15 targets unengaged.
Oh, man. I missed the 4 on the left paper targets altogether. I didn't even engage them.
Yeah.
I did have a jam with my rifle partway through this, and it's like really hard to see in this because the sun was like kind of going down. It started to get dark out, so it wasn't a lot of light. As I'm working my way through this, because I took a lot of extra shots in the beginning, I had to do a mag change, and when I went to my mag change, for some reason mentally with my shotgun, I have a side charger on it. So, and by the way, I also want to say this too. Our RO for this stage, awesome guy, Blaze Romano.
Blaze Romano's a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. But so I went to grab my side charger on my rifle that doesn't exist there because I got stuck in my shotgun mindset.
Yeah.
And I ended up like grabbing my charging handle and like following the bolt home a little bit, and then totally messing up that, just jamming it up, basically trying to feed like 2 rounds in it or whatever it was. So I pulled the mag out, had to clear it. Then I had like a round sticking in my mag, and I'm holding my rifle. I'm like, what the hell? Do I drop my mag? Do I grab another mag? So I just like played around with it, like futzed around with it, and then pulled the round out of it, and then threw the mag back in.
Yeah. So
you can kind of see Blazer for half a second, I think, when I was running backwards to my shotgun. Which, one thing when I staged my shotgun, I don't know where you staged yours at, but I put it at that bucket, one of the further ones or closer ones to the entrance of the range, if you want to say it that way, or further from the berm.
Yeah.
Furthest from the berm. And when I started shooting, there's that one of the orange steel targets that you had to engage with the rifle.
Yep.
I was realizing that, if I really mess up here, I could end up shooting the stock on my shotgun. Luckily, I didn't do that. And that's one of the things that tripped me up in the very beginning, right before I went on the stage, was one of the ROs like, oh, we got a rifle down there, and like, no, it's my shotgun because it looks like an AR because the stock on it.
Yep.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, all the guys that ran this stuff, they did a great job. Mike Sexton and Tennille and everybody that I can't remember everybody's name because I'm new at this and I'm still learning everybody. Of course, like I said, Blaze did a nice job on this stage. Awesome RO, cool guy. But yeah, I just kind of worked my way through it. I think this is the one with the spinner. Yes,
it is.
Any trouble with that?
No, I think the spinner is really intimidating for a lot of newer shooters, but I think people just want to get too antsy with it. For me, so I staged my shotgun all the way at the end. I came down, I picked up I dumped my rifle on the right side after those three papers on the right side.
Okay.
Engaged my pistol, shot the 2 steel on the left, charged forward to this barrel, cleared all the steel that I could with the pistol, holstered my pistol, pulled the shotgun. First shot was on the spinner, took the 2 clays, and then hit the spinner again, and it was done. So just 2 hits.
Yeah, I think I didn't I don't think I took my pistol with me on that stage. I think I took it off because I'm like, I'm not going to run my pistol. Someone said, just, you know what? If you're in doubt, you should just bring it with you anyway, just because if your rifle goes down, you can still use your pistol. And
Exactly.
I was like, well, it's less stuff on me to deal with, and that's why I ditched it. But it probably would have made sense to leave it on. So this one, I think this is 3.
This is one of the fastest moving stages in the match. This was a really fun one. If you had anyone on your stage that could really move well and shoot, this was a barn burner of a stage. A lot of fun. We shot this one at the end of the day, so we had the same issue you had with the sun, but down at these little tiny poppers with the sun and then the dust coming over the berm. So I had a little issue just picking the targets up. I wasted a couple of seconds kind of hesitating, trying to see and wait for the dust to settle. But this one wasn't too bad. I think I took 17th in the match on this one.
That's cool. I was thinking about this too. Like, I think this is one of the stages I parred out on just at the very end. I started picking up my pistol shots. The moving and shooting with the rifle for me, I'm still getting a little bit used to that. I mean, I'm not like as efficient with it yet as I want to be. So I struggle with the moving and shooting. You know, walking smooth enough while I'm making my shots to be moving and shooting. Yeah. I can do it, just not as good as I want to. And I'm still working on my pistol. Like this time, I actually felt a little more confidence in my pistol shooting than I thought I was going to have. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still had plenty of misses, but I felt a little bit better this time around than I had previously at the last few matches I did. This plate rack, that I forget what the technical term for this rotating plate rack is, but
propellers or the Polish spinners.
Yeah, I've heard the Polish plate rack. I've heard that, but so I don't know. And someone said we're not supposed to call it that or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
I'm Polish, so I guess I can get away with that, right?
Yeah, my wife's Polish too, so I probably maybe I can, but I think propeller plate rack is probably the appropriate term.
Yeah, that makes sense. Propeller plate rack. Too many damn P's. So yeah, I was working my way through that one, and it was a lot of fun that stage. When I grabbed my shotgun after I tried that whole thing with my pistol just to see if I can do that plate rack. Then I ran back to my shotgun and figured, okay, I'll clean up with my shotgun. Yeah. I know I had a few that I think I failed to engage. I think I may have, I don't know if I got all of them off that plate or not. I may have left one or I might have cleared it. I think there's one left on there. But anyhow, I was able to get all the steals on the side there. But I know it's a little bit choppy for those watching it too right now on the live version of the show. But I have all the stages broken down by individual stages. So if you ever want to see what they look like, I've got them that way, and I've got this whole video on YouTube too. So people who just want to see the stages, not so much my shooting, because my shooting is nothing spectacular.
Having fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I think this was 4. I think if I lost count.
This is the dual bay. Yep.
Yeah, the dual bay one. This was fun.
It was a good stage.
I saw where I made a couple mistakes. I think there was like a paper target I missed or whatever. I don't remember, but I know after I dumped my rifle, I went to move my pistol. I was going to stage myself in front of this bucket, the dump bucket, because you can get, I guess, all the steals from that spot. My friend was like, stage yourself here, because he was giving me some pointers ahead of time and how I should run my stage. And you see I moved over a little bit.
Yep.
And I went and started clearing all those steals, but didn't see the last one that I had seen 2 seconds earlier and thought I got them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once I ditched my rifle, I did it the same place you did. I ran to the corner, and then as I was walking, you had to walk back just a little bit to get the other 2 steals in the middle. I engaged those on the move, just a couple of steps, and then finished off the rest, and then ran around.
Yeah, the shotgun part of this was fun. I think my shotgun actually didn't have a jam on this one, I think. Because I had jams a few times with the mags were like locking up. Like the last or second to last round of my magazines usually is when I'll have a failure. Or I had one magazine that failed like after the first like 2 rounds because the follower didn't keep following the rounds up, basically, or keep tension on the rounds.
Gotcha. What are you running for a shotgun, Rick?
This is the MK1919 that was built by Tooth Nail Armory.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it. I mean, there's times that it runs like perfectly fine, and when it doesn't, it's the magazine not feeding it properly.
Okay.
I think I got to tear them apart and clean them again. And this was stage 5, I think, the Connex box.
Yep.
This one I got a reshoot on. I finished it both times, but the first time I timed out and they didn't stop me, and I didn't realize the par time, so I kind of was going a little bit slower than I should have been.
Okay.
So they were lucky enough that it was nice enough that like they asked me, they went to Mike. Mike said, "Well, let's ask if he wants to reshoot or not," and I said, "Yeah, let me do the reshoot and see what happens." And so, oh, that's a good point. By the way, Blazer Mono sent me a message just now. He said I should keep the shells in a cooler. When they get warm, they soften basically, and they don't feed well. Maybe that's what was happening. I didn't even think about that.
Huh.
Maybe the shells are actually softening up, and they're having feeding issues because of it.
Really?
The sun and all the heat.
That's interesting.
I never would have thought about that. That's a possibility, I guess. I may have to try that. Put them like in a plastic baggie in a cooler or something to see if it'll help in the summer.
Yeah, worth a try.
So with this one, Mike gave me the option if I wanted to have a reshoot for it, and I said sure. So I went faster through it, and then my accuracy definitely decreased. The first time around, I think I got all the steals with my rifle. The shotgun, I struggled a little bit. I think I got all the clays, and then I only got like one of the slug shots. So the second time, I think I got all the slug shots. Or not, no, I'm sorry. I got all but one or something. I forgot. I did like a little bit better on my slug hits, I think is what I did.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with the slugs, not because my gun's not capable, but for whatever reason, when I get the shotgun in my hand, I feel like I need to go fast. And
right.
My buddy Matt Kupka kind of gave me a way to think about shooting slugs out of your smoothbore shotgun with a bead sight. I shoot tac ops, and
right.
Think of it as the worst rifle you have, the most inaccurate, terrible rifle with a terrible trigger. You have to take your time. And I did that earlier in the match and did fine. For whatever reason, I got to this point in the stage, and I started running too fast, and I had to go back to the belt and throw a couple more slugs in to finish it up. So definitely slowed me down.
That's cool. I mean, I get it. Going with the bead sight and going a little slower and thinking of it that way, that mentality is a nice idea.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know if this was my first run through this when I picked my part-time or not. It might have been that one that I put on here, because the spinner. Wait, is that what am I calling this again?
This is a spinner.
Star?
Okay, this is a Texas Star. Yep.
Yeah, I'm messing up the terminology because I've only shot. That was the first time I shot a Texas Star, actually.
Can I give you a little hint with Texas Star? Start at the top and work your way down. Shoot the top one, then go left, right, and then the bottom, because then all your momentum stays at the bottom of it. Doesn't spin as much.
Well, the first time around, I got that one pretty fine. I shot it at the bottom. Like, that's what I've heard before, too. So
yeah.
I think I shot it at the bottom first, or maybe I did the top and then went to the bottom. I forget now. But I got my shots in before it really started to move. Yep. And then I was able to let them kind of come to me a little bit more than me trying to chase them. And the first time around, I did it for my skill, I did it okay. The second time around, I totally screwed it all up. But I've heard that before. Hit the top one and then go left, right, or right, left, or whatever to kind of build some of the momentum that's going to gain. So I think we're on 6 right now.
Yep.
This was the long distance shot stage where it's basically rifle and shotgun.
Yep.
So for me, I cleared I think all the steel except for one of the long distance top of the hill steels. I couldn't hit the one on the left for some reason. I went to the one on the right after I couldn't hit it, and I went back to it one more time and still couldn't hit the damn thing. And then I worked my way through it with a shotgun, and then I found at the end of the stage. Well, you guys will see, but I'll go ahead and let you tell us how your part of this went.
This one went pretty good. I went prone through the bottom of the barricade right off the bat. So I dove to the ground, shot the 3 close ones. I shot this one pretty well. Whenever I get to go prone, I typically shoot pretty well. I can lock in. I'm not floating. So I think I had maybe 2 pickup shots on the whole rifle array. I think I missed the middle one once, and I missed the top right one once. And other than that, I cleared it pretty well. Ended up with a pretty good time on this one. I think I ran it in 51 seconds, I want to say.
Nice.
Shotgun went really well for me. I took 1 extra shot, had to go to match saver at the end, but it was pretty smooth. I tried to practice that quite a bit. So this one went pretty well. It was one of my better stages.
Now, my friend Ryan Wiggins you know, tall guy with the red beard. You might have seen him around.
Yep.
He launched into that prone position super fast because he's so tall. He almost it almost looked like he just kind of fell over and jumped forward with his gun almost underneath that opening.
Yep.
He was pretty damn fast. He did a nice job with it. Oh, so at the end of this, by the way, I'm smacking the side of my shotgun, because the mag release, I didn't realize it right away. I'm like, I can't get the damn mag out. I can't get the other mag in it, you know, because I've got a couple of mags next to each other.
Yep.
And I got it to pop out, and I switched it over, and I'm finishing off the stage, just blasting away, and I get down and putting it in the bucket. You didn't get to see it, but I started smacking again, or I couldn't get that mag back out again, so I just like side charged it, unloaded it real quick, and then realized that the magazine release button was loosened up. And it was catching on the outside of the receiver. So that night I was able to tighten it up. It just basically loosened up, and it's kind of like an AR-15 mag release, but instead of the shaft or the pin or whatever you want to call it that's threaded into the button, it's not permanently attached to the bar. It like spins around inside of it. So there's a slot for like a screw head slot inside the button for that shaft. So you basically can tighten up the button right through the hole that is on the button. So anyway, I was able to fix it, and a story with that. This, I think, was stage 7. The rifle stuff was no big deal for me on that. Nothing spectacular there. This propeller rack, to be technically or politically correct, was a challenge. This is like the first stage I shot, I think, of the match, actually. So I was still kind of getting dialed into everything, and that thing was spinning pretty fast.
Yeah.
I was having a hell of a time with it. Hell of a time with the mags. And then I think I left one of those behind, and then I went and switched over my slug mag, which I had like a 5-round slug mag. And you'll see what happened with it in a second.
Did you remember your magazine changes on the rifle?
Yes. Did you?
I think 90% of my squad forgot it. Yeah, I remembered to do it. This was my best stage of the match, but I don't know how many people did it in a row. And I just watched. I think we had 6 guys in a row, and everyone was standing around watching these. Everyone missed their magazine change on the rifle, and they all just kept doing it over and over and over again.
So, speaking of mag change, so this one right here, I'm going to put my shotgun one in. Watch, go slam it in it, and I got it at a bad angle when I was trying to throw it in the shotgun, and I dropped the damn mag on the ground. I had five slugs in it. Luckily, only somewhat redeeming part of this was I got both slug hits on the first try. So I went pop, pop, done, and I took off and ran over to the pistol part. And I was still warming up my pistol. I haven't shot my pistol for a while, unfortunately. So I'm having a hard time with these plates at first. Like the first one, I'm taking a bunch of hits at it. Then I get dialed in, and I start hitting them off. But speaking of mag changes, I ran out right before the last plate. So I did my mag change thinking, oh, okay, you have to do a mag change before you go to the paper. I didn't realize I just caused myself a procedural because it's after the last steel was shot that you had to do the mag change.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, can't fix that. I didn't realize it because I'm kind of used to some of the other club matches where like it's like as long as you do the mag change between the points somewhere, you're fine.
Yep.
One last thing is that last paper target on that stage, I nailed that thing dead center with my pistol. I couldn't believe that shit. So this is our fun stage. This is 8, I think, last stage.
Last stage, yep.
And Night Strike just jumped in. Mike's with us.
Yo.
He's one of the guys from Gun Channels. He's hanging out with us for the last few minutes of our stuff here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just got done with mine.
Cool. Yep, hit or miss is his show that he does. So this stage, if you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about what your plan was on this one, Josh.
Yeah, so we started right off the hammered the plate rack. Actually shot this one really well. This was my second best stage of the match. I finished, I think, 11th place overall on this stage.
Awesome.
This one was fun. You just blaze on this one. I took the right paper as I was walking up, took the left one as I was just getting to the bucket, took the three knockovers, ditched the rifle, picked up the shotgun. I ran through this part here pretty quick, just kind of swiveling back and forth, taking them.
Unlike me, who is just doing horrible at this on this part, this was probably this or the Jungle Run were my 2 worst stages, I think.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, this one's got a lot of back and forth movement, and I think the way that I think about these is I try to think about 2 or 3 points that I can get myself to while I'm moving that I can take all 9 shots.
right, to make it less positions to shoot from.
Exactly. So I think I ended up pivoting left and right 3 times.
So my game plan in this was to take out the plate rack with my shotgun.
From way back there, that's not going to work, dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought, hey,
big
1,300 feet per second birdshot, I can do it. No, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Lack of experience didn't tell me that the birdshot wouldn't do it. So I switched over my slugs. I had a 10-round mag full of slugs. So I picked off the resetters are going to love this one. So I picked off the steels. All right. It took me a couple shots, I think, on one of them. I think the other one I got right away. See the papers? I nailed those things with slugs that close.
Yeah, why not?
I was like, damn it, I'm just going to do it with slugs. Forget it. It's going to make it quicker. Then I don't have to do my transition to my pistol. So I switched over my pistol on the ground and started working there. So I blew the plate rack. You can see they're all still all standing. So lack of experience.
Yeah, one thing with shotgun that has been a bit of a journey and a learning for me is that when it comes to steel, almost any steel target now, I just go light mod with my choke. I don't worry about the pattern. I just want to knock stuff down. Shooting stuff with your shotgun and have it just wiggle and not crash is the worst. It's just nothing pisses me off more. So. And then I'll always go out and look at the targets and see how heavy are they, how much forward lean do they have, are they sticking to the base. Those little tiny steels that are angled at like 45 degrees, those are the worst invention ever because they're so hard to knock off their bases.
Oh, I got you.
Yep. So I've kind of moved to the thought process of choke up and try and aim better because any extra shot is bad news. So for what it's worth, that's just one of the things that I've learned through hard knocks because it sucks.
See, and I was running only a moderate choke. Technically, It was like the Tooth and Armory. I think they call it like a breacher choke or something. It's got like a really sharp tips on the front, so it's really not what I needed probably. But they said, well, the moderate one's going to be kind of like your all-around general-purpose choke for it. And I'm still learning, so
yeah.
I haven't had a lot of experience with shotgun, so I'm kind of picking those things up. And eventually, I think I would like to get a tube-fed shotgun. And to go to that. We'll see. I want to try to see if I get these mags thrown a little bit better because I know I've heard from some people that mag-fed shotguns are always problematic, and you're not going to have one that ever doesn't fail during a match and all this stuff. But then I hear the opposite. I see some people's that run fairly well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens if I can get them to run a little bit better just by cleaning them up inside or something. Whatever. Or, like Blaze said, put the shells in something cold so they don't get soft when they're being fed like that.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Man, I've not played with the box-fed shotguns before. I know that I routinely hear open guys always complaining about their shotguns going down, but my buddy Chip Montgomery, I feel like every time I talk to him, he's battling something. He's got some paper clip and a rubber band somewhere in his gun keeping it together.
Paper clip and rubber band, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spinner.
Hey, don't knock the paperclip. I use the paperclip on one of my handguns.
There you go.
What do you use a paperclip for on your handgun?
I've got a Beretta 92S, and I have to replace the little pin that goes through the magazine catch.
Okay.
It goes right through it, and I can't find the right size roll pin to put back in there. So I'm just using a paperclip to keep it in there right now.
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
I'm sure you can come up with one from like Beretta or something. Someone's got to have one.
The problem is that it's an import, and the Beretta USA is like, it's from Italy. We haven't met, the Beretta company hasn't messed with it since 1977, so don't ask us.
Nice. So Josh, speaking of guns, what do you run for your gear?
Yeah, so my primary sponsor is Rev Arms. So you probably saw the banners all over the Three Gun Nation Regional. They're a presenting sponsor this year for the whole regional series. Yep. And they're also the title sponsor for the Three Gun Nation Club Series down in Danville, Virginia at VIR.
By the way, Blaze wanted to correct me. I was saying that wrong. The choke is a modified choke, not moderate.
Yeah, I don't want to correct you on the air, but apparently I'm nicer than Blaze is.
No, you always correct me. Anybody who's watching, let me know, because if I'm saying it wrong, someone out there is going to think that that's the right thing, and I don't want to be that guy that's teaching people the wrong shit. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I make mistakes a lot. Needless to say.
Yeah, so I run the Rev Arms. They're 16-inch. They're 16-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system. I'm sponsored by Vortex Optics, so I run their Razor HD Gen 2 1.
Yeah, I'm running the Vortex. Why would I say this all wrong? Strike Eagle.
Yep, I got one of those on my backup rifle. It's a nice scope.
I always want to say Strike Fire because I have the original Strike Fire also. And
nice.
But yeah, the Razor HD is very nice. I've checked it out before.
Beautiful piece of glass. I just got it literally 4 days before the match, so I got to go out, get it sighted in, get comfortable with it, and then go shoot a match with it. So it was luckily it worked out well. I was able to hit everything. I got it dialed in just right.
Yeah, this was actually the first. No, I'm sorry. I take it back. I got my Vortex back in November. I went to run it at a match, but I didn't have the scope rings tightened down on it enough, so apparently it shifted. So my zero wasn't really where it should have been. So I just took it off, took the quick detach off, ran my backup sights a little bit there, and from that point, then I finally got it zeroed in, like after I got my rifle redone, because back then I was running my R guns upper and lower receiver set. Now I got the F1 firearms receiver set, and it's zero coated and everything now, and it looks really cool. But I was going to say, so after I got it zeroed in, I took the practical rifle once, did that, and then I did this match with it. And I got to say, now that I've used it a little bit, I'm getting more comfortable with it and learning it more and just getting more used to it. And it works really well. I'm happy with it. So for sure, the Vortex stuff's pretty nice.
It is, yep. And I've got a Hyperfire, their 2040 clips trigger in it. It's my trigger sponsor. That's a beautiful trigger. Thing about triggers, I think there's about 5,000 awesome triggers out there right now. I love the debates on Facebook about who makes the best trigger and how can you empirically prove your trigger is better than. I think shoot whatever you have, shoot it, and you're gonna love it. If it's a decent trigger, you're gonna figure out how to use it. So yeah, so that's kind of my rifle setup. Love my rifle. Big fan of the Rev Arms. I think their big deal is their barrels. Their barrels are incredibly accurate. Some of the most accurate rifle I have, including all my bolt guns, is this AR-15 from these guys, which is awesome.
In fact, Hayden, one of our team members, is trying to get one of their barrels, I think.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about it. I think he actually may have picked up a gift certificate, too, from this match.
Cool.
So, I don't know, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. I've talked with him at the Florida match and the Southeastern match. Yeah, super nice people. So that's very cool. So what are you running for your pistol?
So I started off with an M&P when I first got into the game, just kind of a standard stock M&P, and then about halfway through last year, I got an STI Marauder, kind of a STI stock, 2011, and then over the winter I sent it to Doug Jones at AccuRail and had him do some work to it. So he installed his AccuRails. I did some slide cuts, put a new trigger in it for me, so it's a pretty custom gun. I got the barrel, the hammer, the safety, and a couple other parts, titanium nitride, and the rest of the gun's black. So it's got some nice bling. It looks really good. I like it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know we're always proud of our gear, especially when we get it dialed in the way we want it. Yeah. That's how I love my rifle. I love my rifle. It's like the one thing that I really had customized and did a lot of things myself on. And the Cerakoting I had done by Applied Arsenal Finishes. Local guy, really nice guy, Brandon, aafgw.com is their website. To plug him, of course, because I'm really pleased with the work he did on it. I mean, over the top, I'm happy. So what about your shotgun?
Yeah, so I've got a Benelli M2 with one of my other sponsors is TACOM, so their shotgun gear, but they also came out with their new extreme extension tubes this year, and they are awesome. They are such great extension tubes.
That's awesome. I actually just talked to Tim a little while ago. I'm looking at buying from him a couple of the Plus 11 magazine extensions for my MKA. I figured when I go to work on the mags and try to get them to run a little bit better, I want to get the mag extensions for them. Yep. So I want to go that route. Plus, there's a few other parts I want to get from Tacom as well. For a couple of other projects I'm kind of doing. One of which is I'm building a. Me and the girlfriend are building basically like matching ARs. Nice. I have enough ARs. I don't really need another one. But the thing is that I have that project with her where they are consecutive serial numbered aero precision lowers that we have. We're almost done completely building the lower, and then I got to start putting together parts for the upper assemblies. But that's one part of the project. The other part is, this is a goal, you might laugh, but I want to do a 50-state AR-15 project. That's a lot of ARs, okay? Not every state may have a manufacturer, but I want to seek out one from each state. However, I'm already I think I'm at 8 of 50, so it's not that undoable, or not impossible to do. So Aero Precision is going to cover my Washington State build as well. So I figured that'd be a cool thing to do. It's just something that it's more or less I'm going to do this as a project for my YouTube channel, and what I want to do is talk a little bit about each company's, where the receiver came from, each company that manufactured the receiver, or in some cases, there's some companies that do send them out to have variances done, I think is the correct term, I don't remember. They're basically machined outside, but for the company. Yep. I'm just going to do a little bit of a showcase on the company that the receiver came from, and then also, as far as the parts go, if I can keep them all from within the same state as well, that'd be awesome. And another idea that we had for this project is, I say we because I've had other people give me a little bit of input on it and some ideas for it. Say, for example, California. If I'm building a rifle from California, to do the bullet button. Or I guess New York, if they have that weird goofy looking stock thing or something. Yeah. Stuff like that. Just because I don't really have to have another AR that's built like the other ones. It could be something unique in some way, so that's cool, Yeah. So that's kind of part of it. Right now, like I said, I'm working on the Washington State one currently, and my Wisconsin blower is going to be from MGS Firearms. In fact, it's already sitting in my FFL waiting for me to get it picked up from them. That'll be the next one I probably do. But I've already got other states already covered in this project too, because I think I have with this one I'm picking up, I think it's 8. So like I said.
Well, for Virginia, you got to get the Rev Arms from Danville, Virginia.
I know it, and you know what? I think I mentioned that. I'm gonna mess up his name. Is it Gregory?
Gregory, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Because you meet a million people in this stuff. It's hard to keep track of everybody. Yeah, he was really a super nice guy. I was actually testing out their rifles at the Southeastern Regional. Yep. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Nice stuff, Yeah. Also, Tresna Defense. Yep. That was there, or the sponsor for 3Gun Nation. Mm-hmm. I really do like their 9mm setup they have for that pistol caliber carbine. I was like, that would be cool to add for Georgia. Yeah. To do that. Because I wouldn't mind having a 9mm, AR. And it would kind of go along with my project idea, too. Again, cost and time and everything else is involved. It's a long-term project. So, plus, I've got a lot of other video projects I am working on right now, too. Some product reviews, some other things I'm doing, how-to type stuff. And so this will be something I'll do once in a while, release a video on one of my project builds and do a long-term type thing. Just something kind of cool I figure I'd do just for something to do. But yeah, it isn't very expensive.
I think it sounds awesome.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. So, yeah, and Rev Arms, like I said, I think that's pretty cool too. Maybe I'll get in contact with them and try to figure out something with what I want to build for their state. Which is Virginia, correct?
That's where they're located. Yeah.
Sounds better than my project.
What are you currently working on there, Mike?
I'm currently working on 2 things. I am desperately trying to build an AK-47. And I've got a half-completed set-me receiver I'm working on bending right now.
Okay. What was the difficulty with the AK?
I'm on the fence whether to actually go and get the other parts I need for my press, so I can go and do the rivets, or whether I want to just do the screw build.
Okay, so are you using a stamped receiver, or like one that you're bending a receiver for it?
I'm using a pre-made receiver because I don't necessarily want to have to bend it.
Okay, so you're using a pre-made one that has to have the rivets installed and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I was thinking about doing the screw method, which you just tap in the grooves for the screw, and you just use screws with Loctite. So
I've heard of people doing that, but I've never built one, so I can't say. I've seen some of the videos.
I've checked up on it. There's a lot of people that give a lot of people crap for it, but I've never heard of an instance where an AK has blown up on someone for using them. It's just tacky.
Very cool. So we're a little bit after 10 o'clock here. We'll go ahead and wrap things up so we're not keeping everybody up late. But Josh, it was nice talking with you, and it was fun kind of going over our experience from this past weekend, and it was great meeting you. And next time we're welcome to have you. You're welcome to be back on with us and hang out again. Like I said, tonight we were kind of late on guests because of the fact that everybody's still recovering from this match. So, we might be next week. We might have a few more people with us, but we'll keep in touch with you. And thanks for being on tonight. And Mike, thanks for dropping in for a few minutes with us.
I would have been here earlier, but I couldn't kick everyone out of my chat.
Yeah, I know how it goes because you're on right before I am, so yeah. I get it.
You should come on one of my chats one of these days.
We should do that, but it's tough because I gotta get all my stuff set up right before right before I have to get on here. So we'll figure it out. Let's talk. We'll talk.
Join for the first 30 minutes, then jump out and take care of your stuff.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. We'll have to talk about it. Maybe I'll pop in for a little while, like next week or something. So anyway, guys, thanks for being on and thanks for watching. And until next week, and until next time, go out and have some fun shooting.
Thanks, Rick.